Kilo Fox 7 Charlie Golf. It might help if you know that I'm in Tennessee. The antenna is a 43-foot random vertical. That's all I've been able to get up recently. So that'll give you a little idea on what the antenna is. And I'm running barefoot, so doesn't give you a lot of hope. I was just hoping my audio was decent.
And gosh, I wondered if you got a radio story. I would like to hear a nice 30-second or 60-second radio story if you might have one.
30-second or 60-second radio story if you might have one.
Oh, don't have a lot of them other than that my radio has been operated all over the country, to Florida, to Idaho, where the call's from, back to Ohio, and now down to Tennessee, where this is the last spot. So radio from bouncing around all over.
Well, that sounds like you've put up quite a few antennas, Roger.
Well, that sounds like you've put up quite a few antennas, Roger.
I have put up quite a few. Get my position or out of the semi-horizontal position. There's 40 foot of power waiting for a new Mosley beam. I've got a 40-plus year old Mosley beam that's only about 10 feet off the ground that I can use when I get the wiring back right on it. It had a run-in with a German Shepherd, the wiring that is. And so, makes an interesting story when you've got big dogs and Coax. They think it's a snake and eat it. This is KF7CG.
Roger, David. Okay, back on that bottom end EQ. I want you to bring that bottom end EQ to flat. Bring it to flat, the bottom end EQ. Roger?
Bring it to flat, the bottom end EQ. Roger?
Roger on that. I'm going there now. All right, bottom end EQ is flat.
Alrighty, and let me hear just a few seconds of your audio with that EQ cranked in at flat.
Seconds of your audio with that EQ cranked in at flat.
Okay, I'll give you a little more story. Started out in Florida way back when. Built my own first transmitter. Funny thing, ARRL circuit said it'd run 60-65 watts. Junk TV parts. I got an old big color to scrap. I had to watch my meters to keep from breaking my 75 watt input level. That was fun.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, I think what it was is the color TV circuitry on the picture tube probably took a little more power than the black and white. So you had that advantage of I understand you had a color TV powered transformer, Roger.
And you had a color TV powered transformer, Roger.
That's a Roger. It was out of an old Dumont 27, which at that day and age was a supersize. So big that the power supply, the original, had two 5U4 rectifiers in it. So you knew how much current that thing had to put out. So it was stiff, too. It didn't sag when you pulled power.
Roger, you say it had two 5U4s?
Roger, you say it had two 5U4s?
Two 5U4s in the power supply. That's kind of, like I said, kind of beefy. And boosted boost from the old circuit was 1,000 volts. So that thing was made to supply power.
Roger, David. I imagine that thing did have quite a bit of output on it. Well, listen, I think we've got you sounding pretty good there. What I want you to do now is I want you to leave your ALC meter out for the next couple of weeks, and as you're talking, for something to do, just look at your ALC meter and try to keep that ALC meter in the sweet spot, just using your voice control. Roger?
In the sweet spot, just using your voice control. Roger?
Roger, I'll do that. I think it'll work out real well. Glad to have the help on getting this thing set up. Teaches me it's best to have a good ear out there rather than depend on a manufacturer. And yeah, my power outputs, I'm looking at my meter, and I'm getting a good peak of 100 watts out of this thing most of the time, so I don't guess I'm overdriving it too far. 73, and thanks so much for the help. This is KF7CG.
Roger, David. Now, your audio curve is rolling out there probably about 250 cycles or so, so you could get a little more on the bottom end, but right at the moment, I would say let's go with this and see who salutes. Roger?
Let's go with this and see who salutes. Roger?
Roger.
All right, David, 73, sir. You have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. We'll be posting this recording up on YouTube by noon tomorrow. So if you want to hear your radio, go to YouTube and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook, and that will take you to this cut. This will be cut number 1 of some 2,000 Qso-Vlog audio recordings on a YouTube search, KC9VKV logbook. And we'll have it up by noon tomorrow. 73, David, and you have a great afternoon. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.